Hi, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do a really quick video going over what I read in January of 2018. So it looks like I didn't read a lot based on my book thumbnail, no, not book thumbnail, my YouTube thumbnail, booktube thumbnail, whatever I was trying to say. But I actually did read 8 things this month, or last month because it's February now, whatever. But a lot of them were digital. Let's see, I read 2 books, 1 ebook, 1 audiobook, and 4 graphic novels. 2 of them which I read physical copies of, and 2 of them which I read on Hoopla. So, to begin with, I'll start with the first book that I finished in January, which is Furthermore by Tahereh Mafi. And this is a middle grade novel about a girl who basically goes on a quest to rescue her father. Like, that's like the most basic version of it or whatever. It's just interesting. I really liked it. I always like books that are based on fairy tales, and oh my gosh, what is her name? Alice's adventures in the land of Furthermore are very interesting because that's where she actually goes to find her father. So she has to make her way through it, and I always really enjoy those stories where you kind of learn about new fantastical realms, and like just the descriptions of the people and the places in here were really cool, plus the different types of lands that were within Furthermore was really interesting. Just it was really good. I really liked it. It's a pretty quick read, and I say that even though I started it last year and I finished it up in January because I just got like distracted with other stuff. So, but yeah, I finished this up, and I do have the next book. It's not really a series, but I do have the companion novel to this called Witchwood. So, and the characters from this do show up in that book as well. So I will get around to reading that eventually, but I really did enjoy this book. And the next book that I finished, physical book that I finished, was The Court of Mist and Fury. Oh my gosh, okay. By Sarah J. Maas. So I was never really interested in Sarah J. Maas's books until I randomly decided to pick up A Court of Thorns and Roses because my friend read it and was like, oh my god, have you read this series? It's so good. You have, like, just like her hype for the series made me really hyped for the series, and I was never really interested in the Throne of Glass series, but I had been meaning to read A Court of Thorns and Roses because the first book is kind of like loosely based on Beauty and the Beast, and I like fairy tale stuff, and I love fairy tale retellings as long as they're done good or done well. But yeah, I picked it up. I got the ebook from my library out of whim and just like devoured it. Like, I was so into it. So I got this, and this was such like painful for me to read because the entire time I was reading this, and I can't, like, how do I say this without being spoilery at all? I was reading this, but I like wanted to read it, but I didn't want to read it because I was so sure something was going to happen in this book, and I didn't want it to happen, and I was like so obsessed. I was just like so obsessed with, okay, I'll say it this way, I thought that the people that I wanted to get together were not going to end up together, and so I would like text my friend like, I can't handle this, I can't do this, I'm so mad, I'm gonna be so mad, I'm gonna be so mad at Feyre if she chooses wrong and does like not pick the correct person, the person that I think she should be with, whatever. So I read this in a really weird way where I kind of wanted to like devour it, but at the same time I loved what was happening so much that I was scared to continue it. But yeah, oh my gosh, I seriously keep thinking about this book now, and I just want to like reread it because I want to be able to go through and enjoy it now a lot more than I had been able to when I first read it, just because I was so like anxious about what was going to happen. But I really enjoyed this. And yeah, oh my god. Okay, and what was I next? Okay, so I also read as an ebook. Yeah, this is one I checked out digitally from library or like on Overdrive or whatever, which is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, which I enjoyed. I was kind of not sure how it was gonna work because the main basis of the story is that it's about a guy who falls for a girl because he's monitoring email communications at his work, and he basically falls for her because her emails with her friend keep getting flagged, so he reads through them, and he realizes like he doesn't have to anymore, but he keeps doing it because he just like loves her personality and falls in love with her and everything. And I was like, this is really cute, but it could also be like really creepy, and I wasn't sure like how that was gonna work out. But I think Rainbow Rowell actually did a really good job of like making it work. And I was actually surprised to find out that it was actually her first novel. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. So, and I was surprised to find out it was her first novel because it was pretty solid. So, sorry, I have like a list like over there. What's next? Oh, for my audiobook, I listened to Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, which is part of the Diviner series. And can I just say, I love the person who does the narration for this story. I forget her name off the top of my head, and I do apologize, but I know she's also an actress. And I think she actually won an award for doing the narration for the Diviner series, but she's really good at like making distinct voices for all the characters, and it's just like, it's really good. But the story itself is really good. I didn't like it as much, I think, as the Diviners, but it was still pretty solid. There are definitely parts of the story that I liked more than others, and that's kind of always what happens when you have a book that centers on a bunch of different characters at the same time, is that you do find yourself connecting more with some versus others. But overall, it was pretty solid, and it does kind of get me really hyped for the next book in the series because, like, shit's going down, right? So, and then really quickly, I'm just going to cover the graphic novels I read. So, I read Volume 1 and Volume 2 of I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young. And this is pretty funny. I'm actually really enjoying these. So the basic premises of these graphic novels, or the series, is that a child will fall into fairyland and they'll go like on a one-day magical adventure throughout the land to find their key to go back home. So, what is her name? Gertie. So Gertie, or Gert, falls into fairyland, and she's been stuck there for 30 years. So she's an adult in an 8-year-old child's body, and she's kind of pissed. Like, she just wants to find this key and go home, but like, there's also this whole question of like, what's going to happen? Is she going to go back home and it's going to be 30 years since she fell in, or will time revert? Like, it's, yeah. So this is kind of her adventures with dealing with being stuck in fairyland, which she hates, by the way, because like, she didn't choose to go to fairyland. She was chosen, and she's not very happy about that. So it's kind of violent and gory, but it's very entertaining. And last but not least, I read Saga Volume 7 and 8, and I accidentally started reading 8 before 7 because I forgot where I was, which kind of confused me. But love the Saga series. It's pretty much a really well-known graphic novel series, so I'm not going to go like really far into it. If you don't know what it's about, I highly recommend checking it out. It is very much like an adult graphic novel. There's like nudity and gore and everything in it, but it's really good. The core of the story is the child between people of two different races, and we go from there. So yeah, that's all I read in January, and hopefully this is still recording because my time's out, so bye!